So today we're going to treat these shoes, and there's several ways to treat shoes. And the first thing to do when you're treating shoes is to identify the stains and what type of stain they are, and to know the proper product to use for the material itself. So today these are nice white Nikes that have some spots in the front. My favorite product to use on shoes that's about 80% guaranteed to come clean is the Street Tan. It is for grass, fruit, mustard, beverages, and any other tannin stains, colored stains. So we will just treat these little areas right here. Now that we have the Street Tan on there, that's for the discolored, the darker browns, or whatever it is. We're not 100% sure of what's on the shoes. So we're going to treat it with Street Tan to start with. I always like to take like an empty container like this and just put in a scoop of baking soda. And then we would take some water. Just a little, just enough to cover up the baking soda. So it's kind of watery almost. And we keep our toothbrush in there. And what we do with the toothbrush is we use it on our stains. We would just take it and do this right over top of that Street Tan, and you can already see it whitening. So here's this other shoe right here. And then last but not least, we would take the steam. And the big thing with the steam is if we hit the steam off of any stain, and somebody would come in and say, can you get the stain out? Sometimes I would bring the item back here and touch it with the steam. If the steam can make the stain move, that means we will probably 90% chance of getting that stain out. If the steam can't do nothing to the stain when it's dry and it hasn't been treated, it hasn't been touched, it hasn't been washed, it hasn't been dried, the chances of us getting out the stain would be slim to none. So we're going to start with, so we just steam each little area. And I can see it lightening up myself. Sometimes I do a little bit on the shoelaces. Sometimes I take the shoelaces out, but most of the time I will just add a little bit of rubbing alcohol to them, which is safe for colors too. You could use rubbing alcohol on any stain on any item pretty much. You always want to check your fabrics though, because you could really eat your fabric. You could eat a hole into your fabrics. So usually I would use a little bit of rubbing alcohol for the inner part of the shoe, just so there's chemicals pretty much everywhere on the shoe that, you know, had access to anything from outside to get dirty. And then that's pretty much how I treat these. I always would put these on a gentle cycle, so that way when they tumble, they're just lightly tumbled. And I would put them into the machine with soap, and then I would add some OxiClean to the machine also. But the major thing is having them treat it with like the Street Tan for shoes or the rubbing alcohol. Them are the top products that really do the number for the shoes to get clean. The other thing is a lot of times people bring stuff in for dry cleaning and they say, well, the stain isn't gone. Well, not everything is 100% guaranteed. We can't guarantee 100%. And they say, well, it should have been gone. It was dry cleaned. Well, what people don't understand is for your stain, and the dry cleaning machine isn't what does it. It's all the pre-treatments before you put it into that dry cleaning machine. I think sometimes people think you just put it in there and wada bam, wada boom, it's perfect. No, we have to treat it, and then we go from there, and then we put it into a dry cleaning machine, and it would see the results at the end.
So we've done one attempt on the shoes. Everything's pretty much came out except for a couple little spots down here, which I'm going to put some 2-in-1 on. And then we'll add a little steam to it, and then we'll just put them in the washer and see what happens with that.
I don't even see the spots no more, but we obviously have to get the chemicals out of it, so we have to put them through, put the air on it after the steam. So we'll just put them in here one more time. On delicate, we picked the delicate cycle, and we just hit start, and we'll just add a little bit of soap to that and some OxiClean. So
so in 20 minutes we'll be able to check them again. All right, so these shoes just came out, and this is where we're at with our second trial for them. I don't really see the spots anymore, and they look pretty good, and them are our end results.